All right, welcome to this week's episode of the JJ Redick Podcast with Tommy Alter. We are joined now by my teammate, Lonzo Ball. Zoe, what's up, man?
What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. We before you came on, Tommy and I were just talking about how some of the boredom from the quarantine has really taken its toll on me. I went on Twitter last night and I was just spouting off at random people.
That's actually not hard to believe, bro. It's not hard to believe. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, Zoe,
do you know he was off social media for like 2 years?
Yeah, I followed him a little bit.
Completely, and he's been on Twitter for 3 weeks, and this was always the concern. Was that once he gets back on, he really gets back on. He doesn't know how to just like drop shit on there and then just like walk away.
I mean, he is entertainment though.
Yeah.
I told a kid on Instagram last night that I had a better baseball card collection than him. Like that's to the level that I was stooping. Like what? I was just on one.
It'd be
have you ever been at that point where someone's coming at you on IG or something in the comments and you're like, I just want to come back and flame them?
I've never responded. Nah, I've never pulled a JJ before.
I'm sure you wanted to. Do you feel like you've had an undue amount of like attention and pressure in your first couple years?
I wouldn't call it undue, but I mean, it was for sure there. I mean, I already knew what it was going to, be playing in LA, especially living there my whole life. So I kind of had a feeling of what it was going to be like. So I'm not going to call it undue, but it was for sure there.
Yeah, I guess I don't mean undue like you didn't deserve the attention. I mean more just like it is interesting to me because I think I've talked with a couple of guys on our team about this, but like you're really famous. Like how many? Like you have like tens of millions of social media followers. Like it's insane. And
to come TV show too.
Yeah, to come into the league with that amount of attention is got to be a challenge. What do you think was like the hardest adjustment with having all that attention right away?
I think the hardest adjustment was just the schedule, really. I mean, people don't understand how many games you play in the league, and everybody's watching you every night, especially playing for the Lakers, being number 2 pick. So I think that was just the biggest part, playing and flying and then playing and flying and, just getting adjusted to the season.
We talked about this with a couple guys. I remember with Zion in particular. So one thing I'm always interested in, and JJ, you should probably speak to this as well because you had some of this in college, but from a really young age, you had a lot of pressure on you. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of attention. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of this. And you're like, you got to deal with all the shit that like a normal kid has to deal with, plus all of this. But yet you and Zion are both unique. And it's sort of ironic that you're teammates because you guys have both been able to sort of handle this without, cracking it all or anything like that. Like, how did you manage to do that?
I think just timing. Over time, you just realize what it is. It's part of the life. I think for Zion, he's been in the spotlight since he was in high school. So, he's been in it for a couple of years now. It's not like he just got famous. So I think social media kind of blows everything up a little bit. But I think kids in today's world are knowing in high school, you can't do certain stuff, obviously, because you always watch.
It is amazing to me, though, like my observations of the two of you guys and the similarities, how level-headed you both are, given the amount of attention, given the amount of fame. I just think, I mean, and I'm not trying to gas you up, but I am. It is super rare. Is there someone in your life that helps you with that, or are you just naturally just sort of attuned to just blocking out noise?
I think I was just always just like that. I think the way I was raised had a lot to do with it. I credit to my family. I'm always with them. I had them, in my corner no matter what. So a lot of credit goes to them.
What have you been doing right now? Because like I'm kind of going. Like I said, I'm going a little stir crazy. So like, what have you been doing to like pass the time? I know you play video games, but what else?
Yeah, video games, dancing. You know, I got a couple of my family members over here, so we all at least stay together in the same house. So I got a little company, dogs, daughter. That's about it, man. I mean, there's really not too much to do besides stay in the house and try to enjoy your peoples.
Did you watch Horse last night?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't, but I'm glad I didn't because I did see JJ's little Twitter post, so I heard it wasn't that good.
The thing is, like, the responses on there were a lot of like, well, at least it's something. And I do appreciate the effort. And obviously CP's my guy. He was one of the participants. So like, I appreciate the thought and the effort, but obviously there were some logistical issues, and had just the production value been a little bit better, I think I might have enjoyed it more. I think I might have. Tommy, what was your take on Horse?
I thought I agreed with you. I mean, I thought you were a little harsh, but it definitely didn't look good. And I mean, I don't think this is that controversial of a take. I think Horse is kind of a whack game in general. You know, I would have rather had them come. They already have tried it in the All-Star and didn't really work. I would have rather had them come up with something totally unique. That, I mean, I know it's a challenge because people can't be in the same place, but it just felt like they were going back to the well with a game that, like, Zoe, like, when's the last time you've played Horse in your life?
It's been a minute. I mean, my brother plays Horse a lot though, so I mean, I've played it before. It's just been a while. I think the problem is JJ probably thinks he can beat everybody that played. I think that was what the problem was. But, you know, I can win this whole thing, so why would I even watch it? Type thing.
I think there are many problems with JJ.
I deserve to be able to respond to that. Hold on a second. So first of all, I was not salty that I did not get invited. I would have passed it. I would have turned it down anyways. But secondly, I don't even have a court to go shoot on. They ripped the rims off, the outdoor rims off, where I'm staying, at the park where I'm staying. So it's what I couldn't have done it anyways, man. It's all good.
Okay. All right. All good. There it is.
Thor Ragnarok was on at the same time. And given the choice between watching grainy footage of people playing Horse on crooked rims in their driveway or the greatest Thor movie in the trilogy, I'm going to choose Thor Ragnarok every time. Every time.
Thor is legit. He might be my favorite superhero after the Avengers.
Yeah.
After I see it, he might be.
So when you guys were growing up, would you just pull up to random parks with you and your brothers and just like thrash people?
We actually had a court in my backyard. But yeah, there was a full court park about 5 minutes from where we stayed that we used to go to and play people all the time.
Because I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about like Horse. I'm thinking about like 21. I'm thinking about just like random Chino Park or random whatever, Southern California park. And then all of a sudden these three brothers pull up, especially before you guys started getting all the hype. And all of a sudden it's like a different type of family. It's like, it's not like it's just one dude shows up and is really good. Right. It's like three of them and they're all kind of different. And people, I'm sure, were not, I'm sure they were happy at first that you came. And then afterwards they were probably like, we don't want those guys to come back.
Yeah. I mean, we have a pretty good record, I would say, in Chino Hills Parks for sure. Like you said, it was never just one person. You know, we always had at least 5 or 6 people, honestly, between my cousins and a couple of my best friends. So we always had a nice little squad, you know, riding around the
town. I would love to have a brother that could hoop. My brother was okay, but he was also like 5. Like, what's the age gap with you and Melo?
He's 18. I'm 22. So
okay. Yeah, that's about what me and my brother were. But we were 4 grades apart. So when I was a senior in high school, he was in 8th grade. So we never got to hoop together.
I was a freshman.
I want to talk a little bit about like this season with the Pelicans, because it's been honestly one of the oddest seasons of my NBA career. Well, it has now with what's going on now, it's definitely the oddest. But even before this, you know, we started 1-7. We had a 13-game losing streak after that. Zion gets hurt, you know, in preseason. We're missing him. And we still somehow, with 18 games to go, had or have, you know, a chance to be in the playoffs and make some noise. What kind of adjustment was it when you got traded coming from LA to New Orleans?
I mean, I really didn't know what to expect because I mean, everybody knows I lived in, California my whole life. So just moving to New Orleans, I didn't really know what it was going to be like coming in. I was happy that, obviously B.I. came and Jay Hart, two dudes I'm close with. So obviously I didn't have to do it by myself. But I just think at the beginning of the year, I think we just had a brand new team. People didn't really know, what their spots were, what the positions were, what their roles were. And I felt like, after we finally got past that and the injuries and, looked at the schedule and said, we have time. I think ever since then, things started coming together.
What do you think? What do you think was the turning point? Because I can think of a few things, but we were actually playing much better prior to Zion even coming back, and obviously him coming back gave us a huge boost and it helped us move up the standings. But do you think of? Is there anything in your mind where you're like, oh, this is when things started to really turn for us?
I don't think I have a specific date or game. I just feel like just randomly we kind of just started, clicking. I felt like it was kind of, started to get fun to play together. You know what I mean? Like we have a lot of pieces that we already knew. We knew we had talent and stuff, but I feel like at the beginning it just wasn't. It wasn't clicking, and then I think just out of nowhere it kind of just started clicking.
Yeah, the games right before Christmas. Right, like as we ended at, we went on that West Coast trip. We had started the end of the 13-game losing streak with a win in Minnesota, and then we won a few more games on that trip. We come home, we beat Houston and Indy on a back-to-back at home, and then all of a sudden, like we just pretty much from that point on, like felt like we were, consistent and playing good basketball. It was also around that time that you started. To me, like as your teammate, as an observer, I felt like it was a different energy, like a new level of aggression. Obviously, the shooting went up, but there was an aggression and a confidence that happened right around that time, right around Christmas. Were you doing anything different, or do you think it just all of a sudden everything started clicking?
Nah, really, it was just my body, bro. I mean, I was still kind of hurt from, last year, my ankle, so I was kind of waiting for that to come around. And then, like you said, around that time, it finally started, my gate started opening up. I could run a little faster. I remember after that dunk, for me at least in Portland, I know when I caught that tip jam, I knew, I was starting to feel a little better. So that's kind of when it turned around for me.
When do you start looking into your career now that you've been in it for a few years? When do you start feeling like you're sort of comfortable with the landscape of the league, no matter who you play? You know what I mean? Because like you've played multiple players.
I mean, I think it's different for everybody. I mean, for me, I was feeling real good, towards the end of the season. For Zion, for instance, he came in and started dominating from the first game. I mean, everybody's different. You just got to, take your path and, do the best you can, really.
When you throw those 3/4 court lobs to him, what are you looking at? Like, where are you trying to aim your pass to? Because it's incredible how accurate they are. It really is.
Yeah, it looks good, but I mean, I really just aim for the corner of the backboard. Really, I mean, as you know, Zion's he's probably gonna catch it no matter where you throw it. So
yeah,
I mean, I really just try to get over the defender because I know he's gonna get higher than him. So as long as I do that, it's usually gonna work out.
Yeah. What's the read when you throw it on the spin out lob? Because I don't think I've ever actually. I've thrown a few lobs. Obviously, I played with Dwight and DJ and stuff, but. Never been a lob passer, obviously. So on a spin out lob, Zion's posting up on the left block and his defender sort of drapes over him and he spins out and you lob it in. What's the read? Are you reading the position, the timing? What's going through your head when that's happening?
It's really Z, to be honest. I mean, he kind of gives me that look like, I'm about to spin out because you know how strong he is. And, it's odd being, that heavy at that size. Like once he gets you at a certain angle, you're not really going to get back in front of him. So, I mean, Z kind of just, gives me the little sign and then he ends up spinning out and the ball's there.
Yeah. That's, I'm reminded of sort of the connection that we had on the Clippers with like CP and DJ and CP and Blake, or like we used to run this little fake ball screen pin down play for me with CP, DJ, and it was never verbal. And it was always just like a look that we would give each other. Like we could make those reads. The fact that it's happened so quick with you and Z is just, it's remarkable. Do you guys, I mean, I've never been privy to any of these conversations. Are you having these conversations with him? Or is this just something that's just natural on the court?
Nah, it's really just natural. I mean, Z's he's a different type of talent. I never really played with a guy like him before. So, like I say, he compliments my game tremendously. And I'm just happy to be with him.
Yeah. Talk to me about you and Brandon's little ritual you guys do on the road, or even sometimes coming back at night at home. When did you start doing that, just in terms of coming in the gym at night and getting extra shots up?
Well, B.I.'s always been a gym rat since I knew him. That's kind of how I gravitated to him. You appreciate guys that, do their job and then, work hard. For instance, like you come in every day, even though you're a veteran in the game, play forever, still getting up the same shots every day, first one on the court type things, doing a layup that saved us in Sacramento, you know what I mean? So me and B.I., we was close from day one just because he worked so hard. And then plus I knew, we're the same age, and then he was in LA spotlight, I was too. So we kind of, just got together like that. But man, I would say a lot of credit goes to Fred.
Yeah.
Fred gets us in there a lot. It's not like he's forcing us anything, but he's there as well. And it's, it means a lot when he, leaves his family and kids at home to come help us, get better. So,
so you guys are doing that with him at night in New Orleans. And then when you land, like when we land in a city for a road game at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, you're going back that night and shooting. Yeah. Is that kind of the routine basically?
Yeah, just a little tune up, just especially on the road, you got to get it in just because, flying and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, we don't even look at it like it's hard work, really. It's kind of fun. We play games and stuff. We get our drills done and, get ready for the game.
What was the timeline with Fred working with you on your shooting, and what kind of, because I think a lot of people have noticed subtle, it's not like drastic, at least in my eyes, but it's a subtle change in your form. How much work was that to change, and kind of when did that start with Fred?
It was a lot of work, and I'm still working on it, today. Fred got me, basically from the first day I came into the gym. It's funny how he kind of changed my shot. He did it like day by day. Like he let me shoot on the left the first day, and he slowly moved it over. He's like, keep your hand up, bend your knees more. So, it's still a work in progress. It's kind of tough trying to change, a shot and get it perfect, as seasons, going on. So, some games it feels good. Some games it doesn't feel as good. So, with the credit of the coaches though, and you guys, especially you, you give me a lot of confidence, telling me to shoot. You always tell me to shoot even when, it's not a good night for me. So, just a credit to you guys, man, and just trying to get better every day, really.
Is it in your mind during the course of a game about your form? Like, are you past that point now, or at least sort of at the end of this season when you were really in that groove where you had like 7 threes, 8 threes, 6 threes, those 3 straight games or whatever it was? Are you now at the point where you're not thinking about the form and not thinking about those adjustments that you have to make, in terms of having the ball on the left side versus having the ball on the right side?
For sure. All the work that I've put in, to get, where it is today. Now I'm feeling like this is how I used to shoot, making 6 threes a night, when you open, take it. Obviously in the beginning it was a little tough because it just didn't feel right. Like it's not how I shoot, but now it's definitely how I shoot. So I'm happy with it.
It's interesting when I've watched, and even, before I was your teammate, obviously I watched highlights of you, but if you go back and you watch like clips of you in high school and at UCLA, like so much of your shooting off the dribble is because you always had the ball in your right hand. And so your shot would always start on your left side. And it was kind of like, at times it was a little drastic. Is there a trend, like, does it translate the shooting and the ball handling, like having one hand being more comfortable to make passes out of, like having to sort of fix that natural thing of wanting the ball on your left hand, but maybe now you're shooting on the right side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. In high school in UCLA, I kind of always had it, going left. I used to love doing a step back because it was just right there.
Yeah, that's your move.
So now it's like I can go right now, but my step back's not as good as it used to be, I feel like. So
right.
I think over time it's going to balance out. But obviously it was a big change just because, one time I'm shooting on the left and now I'm shooting on the right. So there's definitely a difference for sure.
Yeah.
Are there guys, though, both now and when you were growing up, that you looked at that you were really trying to emulate?
Everybody knows that, I looked up to LeBron a lot. He helped me a lot when he came over to LA, obviously. That was kind of, my guy growing up.
Was it
what
weird
about
being his teammate?
What about Kidd?
Sorry. Go ahead, Connor.
I was gonna say, what about Jason Kidd? Because I know people have made the comp with you basketball wise.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's obviously, great player, Hall of Famer. Obviously, everybody tries to make that comparison. I try to be my own player. But yeah, I definitely watched him a lot. It was just tough for him because he had to go against Shaq and Kobe, and that doesn't work out too well.
What was when you get drafted by the Lakers? It's your dream come true to play for your hometown team, and then you guys sign LeBron the next year. Your favorite player, the guy you idolized growing up. How surreal was that at first to be his teammate?
Oh, it was amazing. Like I said, when I first seen him, I didn't even know what to say. I just was like, "What's up, man?" Like, it was. I was kind of mad just because, my season ended so early when I got hurt. 2 years straight. So, that was kind of a bummer for me. I felt like we had a pretty good team. I was close with a lot of guys on that team, especially Lance as well. So, I think we could have did a lot more than what we did. The year, but I got hurt. I got hurt. Brian got hurt. The whole team pretty much got hurt. So it was a tough year.
For sure. Well, you were probably in similar awe of me the first time I came that you were of LeBron. I would imagine.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You might be the greatest. You're like the greatest shooter I've ever seen in person. Like the first couple practices, I was like, bro, because I was like, it can't be that hard to guard you. Like it can't be. But I was chasing you off those screens. It's like you shoot the ball the same way off the screen that you do in the wide open corner three, and that really amazing.
I don't think I made a shot in training camp this year. I may have made one. I fucking could not make a shot in training camp.
Practice.
Okay,
I'm talking about during practice.
Yeah. We had a fun little shooting competition early in the season. Me and you after practice one day. It went viral.
You ain't seen me shoot against you yet because I wasn't ready, and I'm not ready yet. I said one time, and I'll never guarded you in practice again because I'm not chasing you over all them screens, bro. Did you
Venmo me the $100? I can't remember.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm a man of my word.
Okay. It was Nikhil. Nikhil still owes me $100 then.
Yeah, that sounds about
make sure.
You gotta watch the rooks, man. They're not all there.
I honestly think you could beat me right now. The way you were shooting at the end of the season. There were games like I was hurt those last 5 games or whatever it was, and there were games where I was just like I'd be tapping Fred like as soon as you caught the ball I'm like, oh, that's in. It's just like so little wasted motion. It was. It looked amazing, man. Credit to you, man, for busting your ass and obviously putting in the work, and it's been really fun to watch, man. Really fun to watch.
Thanks, bro. It means a lot coming from you,
bro. Yeah,
thanks.
So, are there young guys not on the Pelicans? Are there young guys around the league that you think are next that you think are sort of not getting not the credit so much, but like that are not getting the hype that you think is sort of coming for them?
Luka's doing his thing. Trey's doing his thing. Ja, Zion. I think the young guys are doing pretty well right now, honestly. Just off the top of my head. You think anybody?
Well, what I'm thinking of is like we talked about this with Zion, and it wasn't actually a young guy, but he mentioned Etuan as a guy of like Etuan is just he's just a baller.
Far from young. He's
far from young, but he's a baller though, and he's someone that like is not getting he's not necessarily the average fan wouldn't look at Etuan and be like, okay, Etuan is a guy that has sort of like this level of credibility around the league, but everybody in the league knows that he can play. Are there guys, young or old? So don't hold me to the young. But are there guys that you're like, okay, if I'm matched up against this dude, like I need to bring it all the time?
I mean, I kind of had that mindset every night, really, especially playing point guard position. But I'll probably say Malcolm Brogdon from Pacers. I like his game. Very smooth, don't mess up too much. I think he can get a little more credit for sure.
What do you think is the biggest thing in terms of, we talked about your shooting, obviously, but in terms of your growth as a player, the biggest thing that you've learned or that you've adjusted to over the course of 3 seasons in the NBA?
Being more vocal. I mean, especially being point guard of the team. I play with guys like Rondo, so I've seen, what it's supposed to look like. Obviously, you're very vocal as well, not even being a point guard. So I think that's the main thing, just making sure people are ready to go, making sure people are in the right spots, and, getting the ship to victory.
Well, from firsthand, I can tell you that you have grown in that area this year. I definitely sense you taking on more of a leadership role with our team, being more vocal. Honestly, I kind of have said this before, but this was like the quiet, like when the season first started, this was the quietest team that I've ever played on. They were just, we don't really have any like loud personalities or anything like that. And it's a lot of young guys. D-Fave is naturally pretty quiet. Now I don't feel like the way we ended the season, I don't feel like we were quiet, but when the season first started, I was like, oh my God, no one's talking.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough because me, B.I. and Jay Hart kind of came from the same thing. Like, that was kind of normal to us. So that's kind of like all we've seen, at least all I've seen for sure. I know Jay Hart, that's all he's seen. We came in at the same time. So it kind of really wasn't too different. I'm glad that I'm glad you finally called the meeting for everybody. Get people, calling people out and stuff and, trying to get the season turned around. But I think just a combination of, being a new team, and then plus, we started off season pretty rough. We had a tough schedule, and I feel like we lost some games that we were, right there to win that we kind of threw away. And it got to a point where it's like, okay, now we need to start winning these games. Like, we going 46 minutes and losing the last 2. Like, it's not it. So
yeah, no, it was interesting because our natural sort of energy as a team, like every team has like an energy, and our natural energy wasn't a loud energy. And then you start losing, and you can almost like sense this like cycle of defeatism. And just because of our group's natural personality. And like, we definitely, like we all talked, and like, we definitely had to do some things to sort of snap out of that. The funny thing is we had that meeting, we probably lost like 4 more games. But as a team, here's the thing, as a team, we never cracked. Like, we never fractured or splintered. Like, we all sort of, stayed together and got along.
Right. Credit to the vets, man.
Well, you got to have good young guys too, Seriously.
Appreciate it.
How are your brothers doing?
They're good. I mean, we're all just chilling in the house. Melo's about to get drafted. Joe's trying to find his way. So, I mean, it's nice to be together. We haven't been together for a while, ever since they kind of went overseas and I started doing my thing. So it's nice to be with them.
Do you guys have a hoop at your court? I mean, at your house?
That's the thing. We have one, but it's getting taken down because we're about to build a gym there. So right now we don't have anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think? What do you think the first, after Melo gets drafted, the first time you guys play against each other, what's that going to be like? Assuming you're not on the same team.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if my name is matched up to his. With Coach Jeff. I know his game pretty well, so it might be a tough night for him.
That's hilarious. That is going to be fucking awesome.
I'm waiting for Coach Jeff's speech, man. I know y'all look forward to his speeches.
Yeah, no doubt. It will be surreal. Like, I guess just thinking about this, but like, imagine being in a pregame scout or like a shoot around scout the morning of a game, and you walk in and they're talking about your brother. Like that's a little freaky to me. That's freaky. And Drew did it this year. You know, we played the Pacers, and all three of them played in the same game, which is just madness.
Yeah. And Drew played very well.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches, I think we should run with these power rankings.
That was a transition, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I really want to. We're going to do a draft here. We're going to do a draft, and it's going to be because we had some success with last week's pod when we did our draft of our last week was the 5 TV characters you'd most like to be quarantined with. And so this week we're doing the 5 sports movie coaches you'd most like to play for, and we're going to do it draft style. And because you're the guest, you get the number 1 pick.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to get this out of the way easy then. I'm going to go Coach Carter with my first pick for sure.
Interesting. First
Why?
pick?
Yeah. Why him?
He's tough.
Yeah, he's tough. That's how you win games.
Track record speaks for itself. That's for sure.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to play for Coach Carter. He's motherfucking you left and right. You might be right, but
that's what I'm used to. That's how I grew up playing. That's like what I'm used. That's what I'm used to.
I forget. And Coach Carter, I haven't seen the movie in a while. Was the team bad when he got there?
They were terrible.
They were terrible. So they were like it was Richmond, and they were horrible. And he comes in and he just like shakes shit up. Did he have a kid on the team or no?
Yeah, the kid. He was nice too.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I see it. I think that I respect it. JJ, you're up.
I'm up.
Yeah.
All right. So my first pick, man, this is tough. I'm gonna pick Coach Herman Boone from Remember the Titans. Obviously, first of all, Denzel played him, so got to go with Denzel. But coached at an incredibly difficult time. In terms of the social atmosphere. He brought together an entire community. He bridged the gap between 2 races of players. I mean, to me, and he won. They dominated. They were literally I'm from Virginia. They're the best high school football team in Virginia State history. So
yeah,
undefeated. I think the answer is obvious that he really should have been the first pick overall, but number 2 overall, Coach Herman Boone.
Boone was my number 1. He also nice family, motivational runs through Gettysburg, so he respects history.
Yeah.
He dealt with both racist people on his team, racist boosters, and I remember the racist ref. Like he had all kinds of shit they threw at him, and he still made it.
Yeah, you're right.
Has the Ringer done a rewatchables of Remember the Titans?
I don't think so. Okay.
So. All right. They need to, because I watched that scene where the ref cheats, and then the white coach brings everybody together, and then they go dominate. It's some of the worst sort of just screenplay I've seen in a sports movie. All right, Tommy, your first pick. Who is it going to be?
So Zoe, the context for this is with the draft last week. I had a great draft, but I got shit on the internet for about a week afterwards because some of my picks are controversial. I think it's going to be the same this time. My first pick is Coach Tony D'Amato from Any Given Sunday.
I knew that.
Yeah, he was in my top 5 though. He was in my top 5.
Yeah. So here's my reasons. Players first coach. He didn't give a shit about what they did off the field. Like, remember they had that party with like the hookers and the coke and everything? Like, he didn't care. Like, he let them do their thing as long as they won. He stood up for you against the owner. He and the owner fought and he won. He was a champion. He won 2 championships. And then the speech. I mean, it's the greatest speech in movie history. And the only cons with him is he's like a degenerate and unpredictable, but that's fine because all of the pros outweigh it. So I think that's a good number 1 pick for me.
I like that pick. I do.
Run it back, Tommy. You get the next pick.
I get second?
All right.
So my second pick is a little more traditional. Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights for the TV show, not from the movie. So Yeah, normal, boring, traditional.
You're talking about Kyle Chandler's character in the television
Kyle
show.
Chandler's character.
I did not know that we could do TV shows too.
Yeah,
we're doing.
I was going to ask that.
We got to do both. We got to do both. We have to.
Okay, so Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. So this means that Coach Gaines from the movie Friday Night Lights is still eligible.
He's still
Thornton's character. He's still eligible. Okay,
he's
that's good.
He's still on the board. So Coach Taylor.
Okay.
Coach Taylor has he basically is like, he's just the safe choice. He has no cons. He's polite to the people in the town, even though they're ruthless to him. Nice family.
Yeah.
Also winner. Deals with a lot of shit. Safe pick.
I think both your first two choices were both safe picks. I like them both. I don't think you're going to get a lot of slack for either of those.
Okay.
No, not.
All right. So my next pick. So this one was kind of easy. I actually considered making him my first pick, but Coach Gordon Bombay from the Mighty Ducks movies. The guy has won at every level: Pee-wee, international, and some form of JV varsity private school. I think he's a great motivator. And I like the fact that he sort of battled his own demons in order to become a better coach. I think that's important.
I mean, I never seen the Mighty Ducks, so I can't chime in.
What were his demons? Do you remember?
Well,
you should watch Mighty Ducks, by the way. It's good.
That should be a quarantine activity. You should watch all three. So in the very first ones, though, he gets a DUI, right? He gets a DUI. He's like a big hot shot lawyer. He gets a DUI. Or he was a former player. And then the court mandates that he coaches a Pee-wee hockey team in Minnesota. And the team is terrible. It's a bunch of misfits. And they end up, because of some zoning rule, that another team's best player, Adam Banks, and they go on to win the championship. And then the second one, they're Team USA. They bring in a couple people. There's randomly a hockey player from Texas. I didn't even know they had hockey in Texas. It's like a cowboy. They bring in a goalie from Maine, a couple other people. And then the third one, they're now all older, and they go to this, basically they go to Phillips Exeter, right, Tommy? They basically go to a prestigious private school, and they're on the JV team, and they have to play the varsity team, and they end up beating them. So that's it. Gotcha. So he's a winner. He's won at every level. Level.
This is a good Monday quarantine activity. You'll roll through two of them tonight. You'll like it.
Yeah. Bet.
All right, you're up.
All right, Joe.
I think I'm gonna go with my third pick, because I feel like my second pick is gonna get taken. No, he won't get taken. So I'm gonna go with my third. But it's a second. So I'm gonna go with the coach from Glory Road.
Oh, it's a good one.
He might be off the table by the time he get back to me, so I'm gonna pick him now.
Is that Don Haskins?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a good one.
I don't have to say much. I mean, we've seen what he can do with a basketball team, especially at those times. So he's gonna be my second pick.
Who's the actor that played him? What's his name?
Patrick something.
It's not the guy from. It's not the guy from Sweet Home Alabama. Are you sure?
I never saw Sweet Home Alabama.
I never even heard of that. I'm not going to lie to you, JJ.
You've never seen Sweet Home Alabama?
I don't think anybody who listens to the show has seen Sweet Home Alabama.
With Reese Witherspoon?
I'm looking it up right now.
Patrick come on, man.
I know that song, though. That's a song.
That's a song. It is a song by Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a song.
Yeah, the song is fire. The movie
Tommy, you've never seen Sweet Home Alabama?
I'm not going to. It's not like the Mighty Ducks.
I don't care who the guest is next week. We're doing our top 5 rom-coms. That's what we're doing.
Okay, let's do that.
We're doing our top 5 rom-coms. All right, is it my turn, or are you back on you?
No, Zoe's got another one. By the way, the actor's name is Josh Lucas.
Josh Lucas. Yes. Yes, that is the guy from Sweet Home Alabama. I had him confused for Matthew McConaughey for about 2 years around 2011. Thought they were the same person.
All right.
All right,
so you got another one.
Yeah.
I get a first pick again?
Yeah, we're snaking it. So you do 2 and 3.
Oh, I could have went with my second pick then. Well, all right, I'm gonna go with the close. Y'all seen Hurricane Season?
No.
Hurricane Season?
Yeah.
No.
What is that?
Oh, you haven't seen Hurricane Season?
No.
Wow.
No.
We in NOLA too? Come on, bro.
What is
Hurricane
it? Explain.
Season.
Do a synopsis of the plot.
I'm gonna watch the Mighty Ducks. Y'all watch Hurricane Season. It was Forrest Whitaker, bro.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh wow, this looks great. I'm looking at the plot right now.
Y'all gotta watch that tonight. Okay.
What? Hold on a second. Hurricane Season movie.
Good cast. Taraji.
Yes. Nobody talks
Oh
about
wow!
that movie.
So it's post Katrina. Oh yeah, I gotta watch this.
Oh, this looks great.
I gotta watch this.
Gotta tap in for sure.
Is Wayne in the movie? Is Lil Wayne in the movie? Because he's on the IMDb.
Yeah. Guest star in there. Yeah.
Bow Wow's not a bad actor.
No, he's in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good cast. Forrest Whitaker, Taraji, Bow Wow. Yeah, I'm watching this tonight. That's a good pick.
You have to.
That's another one.
I will, for sure. For sure. Is it my turn?
Yep.
It has to be.
Oh, man. My three guys are all left on the board right now, and I don't know who to pick with my third pick. I feel really confident in my first two picks. I'm going to go a little off the wall here. So, have you guys ever seen the movie Celtic Pride?
I have.
Nah.
Okay. That's another good movie for you to watch. So Coach Kimball from the Utah Jazz, I'm going with him, his character. My argument for that is that he let Lewis Scott shoot the ball every time down the floor. And he just berated all the other players. And he let Lewis Scott basically do whatever he wanted. So if you ever were in that mode where you were like, I kind of want to just shoot the ball every time, Coach Kimball's the guy to play for.
Could you explain to Zoe very briefly what Celtic Pride is about as context for this?
Yes, sir. It's one of the 5 greatest sports movies ever made. Basically, the Utah Jazz and the Boston Celtics are playing in the NBA Finals, and 2 lifelong, diehard Boston Celtics fans, after a game, run into this guy, Lewis Scott, the Utah Jazz star player. They run into him at a bar. They get him super drunk, and they accidentally kidnap him. And they basically keep him kidnapped through the next game. He escapes. He doesn't end up pressing charges, but he learns a lesson along the way. And the lesson that he learns along the way is that you should pass the ball. Somehow that gets translated from, and he doesn't end up pressing charges. But it's a great movie.
It's one of the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah.
Damon Wayans, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny.
He's Lewis Scott. He's the guy. I mean, he's the best player.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I got 2.
Yeah.
First one is a little bit of a off the wall one. Chubbs Peterson from Happy Gilmore.
He was gonna be my fifth.
So the pros are obvious. Great coach, great motivator. Even the worst golfers, he turns into a champion. Seems like a fun guy to hang out with. Great personality. The only negative is that he dies. Besides that, everything else.
I was going to say the only negative is that he's dead.
He doesn't make it. But he would have been a great coach to be with until he passed, until the tragedy. So that's my third pick. My fourth pick is Morris Butterbaker, the guy from Bad News Bears.
Ooh.
So I think his last name is Butterbaker.
You might get some slack for that one. I'm not going to cap.
Yeah, I think I might get some shit for it. I think it'd be super entertaining. I think it'd be super entertaining.
Not winning no game.
We will by the end, though. We will by the end. And I think you're like, here's my thing is like, if we're playing Little League, I want to have a fun time. Like it's not just about winning to me. If it's Little League baseball, it's about like, I want an entertaining group of like guys to play with. And I feel like he was much better than like the team that they had to play against. I was in between him and the guy from Hardball, from Keanu from Hardball. But I thought that Keanu from Hardball had too many flaws, so I couldn't pick him.
I mean, if we're not winning, I'm not having fun. So I can't agree with you on that one. I don't know. I can't speak for Jay.
What do you think, JJ?
I agree. I think, don't they end up, I've only watched it maybe once or twice. It's not one of my perennial sort of once a year movies that I watch. So do they end up winning at the end?
I don't
Bad
think
News
so.
Bears?
I don't think so. But they learn a lesson.
No.
I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah.
Why are you going to why do you want to play for a coach?
I just think it would be fun.
Doesn't win. I was so on this one.
I think it would be fun.
This is the one you're going to get killed for.
For sure. Like, what?
Yeah, this is just terrible.
All right,
Terrible.
JJ, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to go with Coach Gary Gaines from the movie Friday Night Lights. So have you seen the movie?
I have. Great.
Okay.
Film.
So there's the scene where he's at the quarterback's house, Mike's house, and he's talking to him about getting out of that small town, about going to college, about getting out of his house. He's got the sick, kind of crazy mother, and he says to him something along the lines of like, "You're seriously, if you commit, if you do it right, you're seriously going to fly, son." And I can't remember what year that movie came out, but I was definitely like early NBA, college, maybe. I don't remember, maybe late high school. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, like, if a coach ever told me that, man, I'd run through a wall for him, Like,
right.
You're seriously going to fly, son. Like, it was very motivating. Obviously, in the movie, they fall a little bit short and lose the game, but he got him to this championship. Incredible motivator, built a sustainable culture. And yeah, so I'm going with Coach Gary Gaines. I like it.
Great. It was a great final speech too.
Pick.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good pick. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
Are we on 4?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fourth pick, I got to go with my man from Longest Yard. Ultimate player coach. And he came in the game at the end.
Wow.
Yes,
I
sir.
like it. I like it. I like that pick.
That's whatever it takes to win games.
I like that pick. I like that pick.
Any managed a bunch of convicts on one team. That's hard to do.
That is hard. That's hard.
Who was the actor that played him?
I don't know his name.
It's the legend, right?
He's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my fourth.
I like that pick.
All right,
You
so
got
you got
5
one more.
too? You got 5 too?
Oh, I got 5 too.
Yep.
Oh, this is my last pick, huh?
Yep.
Oh, man. Are we counting martial arts as a sport?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we counted golf.
I got to go with Ip Man. Y'all know who that is?
No.
Oh, y'all need to watch that too. IP, man. Watch that. It's on Netflix. 1 and 2.
Ip Man. I'm on that.
Yeah.
He's
Great morals.
He's a trainer.
Great person. Family man. Trains the community. Doesn't use his powers the wrong way. Great pick.
What's your guys' feeling on boxing trainers for this category?
Your coach.
Man.
Like Mickey from Rocky or
Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Rocky. Yeah, obviously trained Tommy. Yeah. That's a coach.
I like that. That's a good pick. The martial arts is also, it's good for us to have a martial arts representative in this category.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the movie, man. Tell me.
So you're done. So you got Ip Man. You got the coach from Hurricane Season.
Yeah.
The coach from Glory Road.
Yeah. Coach Carter.
Who am I missing?
And Longest Yard.
Oh yeah, and Longest Yard.
Tough.
That's a good lineup right there.
We really have everything. Like they could all
That's
be
a good
on one
lineup.
staff.
That's a good lineup right there. Hurricane Season, I might watch right when we get done with this shit.
Yes, sir.
Because that plot combined with that cast is a winner for sure. Did you see that? You saw that before you got to New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I seen them when it first came out. My dad showed me that movie.
JJ, you're up.
All right. So I just want to tell you who else is on my board. All right. So I was tempted to go with Eddie, which is Whoopi Goldberg's character in the movie. Eddie. It's about a fan who wins a contest, becomes a Knicks assistant coach. The Knicks head coach gets fired. She takes over the team. They end up making the playoffs, and they don't move the team, which the thought of, the Knicks ever moving is insane. So I do think it'd be interesting to be coached by a fan. I think that, the fans, they argue, they talk about the game, they analyze the game. Let's put a fan in their shoes and see how they do. I like that idea. And yes, if the fan that was the coach, if Eddie didn't know what she was talking about, I would talk shit to her for sure. The other one was Norman Dale, which, Zoe, you've seen Hoosiers, right?
Not gonna lie, bro.
I haven't seen Hoosiers. Tommy, I know you've seen.
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yes. I know what it is.
JJ is a Hoosiers hater.
I am a Hoosiers hater, but I would have picked him. I can't remember who was it on one of the recent pods, but they pointed out the fact that at the end of the state championship game, Jimmy Chitwood, the best player, has scored literally every basket for the team. And he runs a play. He draws up a play for someone else to take the last shot. I mean, I couldn't play for a coach like that. No, you got to go to your best player at the end of the game, right? And of course, Jimmy says, "I'll make it," and he goes and he makes it. All right, so I'm going to actually go with Lou Brown. Lou Brown is my fifth coach. He is the head coach of the Cleveland Indians in Major League.
Good one. He was on my board.
Brought a bunch of misfits together, overcame the odds, had to deal with an owner that was trying to sabotage the team and move them. So I think, all things considered, I think he'd be a coach I'd like to play for.
JJ, your list is very solid.
I like that.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question before my fifth pick about someone I was thinking about. He's not going to be on the list, I don't think. He's not going to be on the list, but I feel like it needs to be brought up for discussion. What's the feeling on Jake Shuttlesworth?
Ooh.
From He Got Game.
Ooh.
That count as a coach?
That's a coach. That's a coach.
I don't think he ever coached him, though.
That's his dad.
He definitely coached him. He trained him. I don't see what's the difference between him and Chubbs Peterson or him and a MMA trainer.
Well, I think you have an official title if you're the MMA trainer or, a boxing coach or a golf instructor. Like, I don't know. It's his pops.
You can't count that. That don't count.
Okay. All right.
He never coached him in an organized game. Those guys are all coaching in a competition.
I wasn't going to pick him anyway. There were too many red flags with him. But I think it's an interesting discussion because he clearly was an effective coach to a certain extent. For my fifth pick, I'm going with Pete Bell from Blue Chips. Coach from Blue Chips. Did you ever see that, Zoe?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Shout out Shaq.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. Good rewatch. He was a great coach, obviously. Who was a moral guy and made the right call at the end of the movie. And he, I think that he won at every level. And I think that if that was a guy that was like in my coaching stable, as basketball turned around, he would come back. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but that's where I landed with for my fifth one.
So let me get the plot right. So he cheats. He basically turns the other cheek. His program cheats for
he's a
years.
legend. He's like a legendary coach. He's a guy that's won a million championships there.
And Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, and he's falling off.
And
he's falling off, and he's worried, and he's not competitive anymore in the landscape. And so he comes back and he starts basically buying everyone off and getting it, and then at the end he throws a fit and leaves.
He's not going to get rehired. You can't have that level of just cheating and get rehired.
No, but he's gonna go to like a high school and be like a good coach there and win a bunch of championships.
Like Rick Pitino left Louisville, went to Greece, killing in the league over there.
Are we missing? Are we missing anyone? Is there like a massive oversight?
So I was going to say, after you brought up Jake Shuttlesworth, there was one article that I read on Bleacher Report. They had the number one coach of all time as Yoda from Star Wars.
Oh, yes.
But obviously not a sport. But
yes.
Yoda.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
That's pretty good.
What do you think? Yoda's good. What about the coach in Cool Runnings? I don't know his name. Was he good? I don't remember. Like, I haven't seen that movie. Have you seen Cool Runnings?
Wait, was it John? Is John Candy the coach?
Oh, you should watch Cool Runnings. Yeah, it's about the Jamaican bobsled team. Yeah, it's a good movie. I don't remember whether the coach was good or the players were just or the sledders were just good.
So I'm going to text you a list of stuff that you should watch that you probably missed out on. Yeah,
thank you, man. I got time. Send it over.
If there's any time in your life where you're gonna be able to watch all this shit, it's right.
Yeah,
now.
I know.
You got the window.
I'm gonna start today.
All right, man. Zoe, I appreciate the time, man. I'm sure everybody will enjoy hearing from you. Tommy, much better list than last week. I'll give you credit. All right. Zoe, I appreciate the time, man. I'll see you soon.